Greetings from the land of Canada, my name is Matt, and welcome to another tutorial. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the Speedy security, and this is a really cool, really interesting, really interestingly designed trap. My friend actually helped me out with this one, and basically what happens is you hit a trigger, there goes through a delay, and the trigger actually, the first time that it gets clicked, it activates one part of an AND gate, and then after another 4 seconds it activates the other part of an AND gate. And if you haven't reached the end of it by the 4 ticks, which is the 4 repeaters set fully maxed, then the trap gets set off. It sends a pulse to this, which goes all the way around. Meanwhile, it keeps it powered because it pushes off onto this this redstone torch here, because that's what the AND gate does. It also resets this by itself, so it doesn't. You don't even have to reach the end of it for it to reset. And then what happens is this, once it gets pushed over, it powers all of this, which is basically the trap which connects to all the different dispensers, all here, and they all get set off. And yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty cool stuff. And down here is actually where the light show is. This was like a last-minute addition, where if you hit this, the lights actually show you how fast you need to go to get to the end before the trap actually goes off. And I don't think I'm going to build this a second time, because it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of big. So just get a good look at it. Basically what happens is when it gets a pulse sent down all the way down here, it turns this one, these two don't really need to be here. But then it turns this one off, well, on, all the way down, which turn these off, respectively, because they're all underneath the same things, and then it turns these ones on, so it goes, you'll see. I'm going to turn this off just so you can see, boom. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. And since it's just one pulse that does it, it looks a bit more like, that. So it's kind of interesting. So anyway, I'm going to build this for you guys because it's actually kind of complicated. So, I need a large open space for this. I'm going to start over here. So I'm not going to build the entire thing, which means I'm not going to build the light part, because it's just not, it's not too complicated. It's not too hard to figure out if you just like saw, if you got a good idea of what it was. So this is going to be our pulse, just between these two. Tick. The one thing, and then it's going to get fed out into this bad boy right here, and this is going to go into a switch, which is basically 2 pistons like this, like that, and have a redstone torch between them like that. Let us grab this one. Cool. So then when you hit that, it switches over. And now whatever gets powered over here. And this is going to be the AND gate, which is going to be these 2 blocks. I'm actually going to make it like that. And what the AND gate is both of these need to be powered for this to get unpowered. For this part. Wait, hold on. This part right here. To go powered again. So this needs to be powered and that needs to be powered. So when you hit it, it does 2 things. It sets off this timer, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these. It's 4 repeaters like that. And that was just the distance that was proper. So what happens is, and then the reset switch over here is going to be basically whatever we want. It just pushes the block back, which resets it. So, bam. Clicks it like that. And it turns it off, which turns this back on for just a second. But that's all that we need. We just need it to be turned on for 1 second. And then what that's going to do is it's going to cause another switch to be flipped, which is right here. And this switch, what it does is it pushes out another block on top of this redstone torch. And this is basically our output. Whatever this is, if both of these go off, that means the guy never made it to the end. So that means that whatever this gets led to is the punishment, which is the dispensers. So then what happens is this gets over here, and this gets repeated just a bunch of times. Now this this line of redstone here is basically how long you want the punishment or whatever bad happens to last. I guess like if you want to make it really long and have the dispenser shoot fire charges or arrows or splash potions of harming, depending on how long you want it to last, this line of redstone is going to change. So we're gonna, for simplicity's sake, we're not gonna make it that long. We're just gonna make it about like this long and like that, just like that. So that's gonna get fed back into that, and we're not even gonna make it too long. So then what happens is when you flip this switch, bam, they never make it to the end. It pushes it over like that. And then since it was really quick since it really didn't have a long timer, I'm actually going to make it a bit longer just for demonstration's sake. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset it. So click, and then it sends one charge over like that, so then it's powered, and then it gets unpowered. So, and then to stop it, because basically what happens if you make it to the end, bad things don't happen. So, if you want to make it to the end, I'm going to make the end one over here, and I'm not going to make it so that you need to get a potion of swiftness to get through. I'm just going to make it pretty simple. You go like this, and like that. Actually, in my massive breaking spree, I accidentally broke the piston. Okay, like that, like that. We're going to grab one of these bad boys and click. So then what happens is then once this gets powered, if this gets powered again, it pushes it back and the AND gate gets turned off, and then when this one is turned back on, this never gets triggered. So you'll see, if I do this, click, it just gets pushed right back and both of them stay on, and this never gets activated. So it's a rather interesting trap. It's pretty cool because it really is like a security system, because the only way to get through, if you do it properly like I did over there, which is a longer stretch and you have to time it right so that like I remember I had to test to see how many redstone repeaters you needed, and to get it so that if you're sprinting at full speed from the start with a speed 2 potion on and you make it all the way to this one, it has literally just enough time to switch it back off. So that's basically how that works, and this is one of the more interesting redstone things. I had a friend help me out with this because it was pretty much his idea, and then coming up with like all the different stuff to all the different components. Like this is based. Was it? Choco used it was it's not area. It's not like module. This is module 1. This is module 2. Oh no, it was like place 1. It was when I was trying to figure out in how to Minecraft how to do the card shuffler, which was pretty cool. Anyway, he helped me out with that. So basically, this is how it works. You can basically set this thing up to a comparator, which I'm going to attempt a second time to make it explode everywhere. So I'm going to make it far from here because usually it works better that way. And so if I go ahead and do one of these, what's going to happen is it's like you go. Oh, I didn't make it. I tripped and fell. No, there's too much TNT. Boom, and then everything blows up. Oh, I actually forgot one thing. I shouldn't have done that. Whoopsie doodles. Okay, so basically there's one extra thing to it. If you pass through this end, and you want to make it through that end, and like if you run and then when you hit this again and you don't want this to go off, the way that it works is you need actually a potion of speed. You actually do need speed 2 to get through it. So check it out. If you hit it like this and you go all the way to the end, it doesn't actually get set off. The lights do, but the trap doesn't. Now the reason why it does that is because whatever, like when I set the tripwire right at the end, it's normally I only had one output to go right here. And this looks a little bit more complicated than it actually is. You know, don't worry. Just what you have to do is put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 redstone repeaters, feeding back into this, and then just the one there. So basically, what that does is it puts a delay to it, like a delay, long delay, and then it hits it again, just in case that when you hit that one. If this is going to be powered, while that one's trying to push it back over. So it actually just pushes back again. Actually, no. What it does is it pushes it back. It pushes this. Okay, you'll see. You'll see. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to demonstrate it. So it's kind of hard to explain. Okay, back it up a bit. When you hit this, it sends a delayed trigger so that when you hit this, it pushes it back, and the delayed is long enough, but just short enough to push it back through there after it pushes it like that, but before it has time to trigger the AND gate. So sometime in between that being triggered and this being triggered, this gets triggered a second time if you're doing it fast enough and you hit this. So basically, bam, and then say that you were running, this would get triggered, but it would stop it. It would push it back. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just if you want to exit your base without the whole thing going off, you're going to have to make this. You're going to have to make this thing, which is pretty easy to do. I'm not gonna. I kind of preemptively exploded that thing over there. Whoopsie daisies. Oh well, you know. And then all this redstone up here is basically just leading to all the different traps. That closes that end. That closes that end. And this is all the dispensers. And that's the comparator right there. That sets it all off. So it's pretty interesting. It's not maybe not the simplest trap, but hopefully this helped you guys with the understanding and the building of it. So thanks all for watching, everybody. Check out the top 10 if you haven't already, and peace.